Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad.
Hello, it's us. Did you miss us? Hello,
Bergie.
James Scott. Thank you for the subscription. Crispin, Dutch, Panzer, and I think I saw somebody else also. Soap Dodger, Demon Sub. Welcome to and Hazy Boy.
Not real people.
Are those real people?
They might be, I don't know. I assume they're all sock puppet accounts.
Could be. They're all accounts from Ben. Ben is watching us through multiple accounts just to see what works best for the next golden button. Where's your gold button, peasants?
Well, you know, I'm with Crispin on this one. I've been told I'm getting a golden button, but I've never seen one. I cheer myself up by listening to Spastic Hawk by the Rubber Bandits.
No, Thomas, nobody's real, not even us. We're just AI-generated Muppets.
Puppetry. Puppetry's good.
So,
if at any point it looks like I'm not paying attention to what's going on, by the way, that is exactly right, because the Liverpool match is on that screen.
I think we will be fine. We managed to have you on two screens.
That's fine.
More than once.
Have I used the speed paints? I've used them a little bit. The Dace has used them much more than me, I believe.
And your verdict so far?
I like them, but like I say, they are like slow dry pre-made glazes, so you're constantly blending and layering colors. This probably isn't going to be a great example because fuck yous.
If we even can see it.
Yeah, because this will probably disappear again.
No, it's actually working for some reason. Yeah.
Right, that's madness. So those are the first two layers down. That's not a flesh shade. That's green with red on top of it. Because I'm experimenting with doing flesh tones like that through glazes and layers and shit. It was over Zenith, which you're not supposed to do with the instant stuff because they really are very, very transparent. But
so
yeah,
just to get the terminology right, Citadel has the contrast paints.
Yes.
Scale 75 has the instant paints.
Instant paints.
Army Painter has speed paints.
Speed paints.
I
must be getting some of those this month. It's March, isn't it? I should be getting a big box of them.
Yeah, I think the 22nd.
Don't fuck around, get that up the pitch.
I think 22nd is the point of exit.
I'm on holidays that week anyway, so that'd be good.
Nice. Yep. Welcome, Nomad, to the show.
So yeah, so it's one of those. Oh, there's some of my scales there. There's like a yellow one.
That was gone.
And
so,
like a red one.
What kind of beer are you having tonight?
I decided to go for another one of those wax ones. So this is the black velvet with the waxy black bottom on it. It ages like fine wine, apparently, but then it also has a skull. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. 9.99% volume. Best before the 5th of November, 2031.
Well, that's time to age, I guess.
Yeah. There were several other beers that also had wax on them that I might get maybe next week. They were Galway ones. They were like £13 for a bottle, so it better be fucking rocket fuel. But I can only assume that their significant others got Yankee candles for Christmas, which explains why so many things have got dipped in wax for no apparent reason. So fuck me, another set of Yankee candles here.
James
give us those.
Asking if we should take bets on what AK will call their name of fast painty paints.
I don't know if AK will.
Maybe something like...
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we won't see one from AK, but we will see one from Green Stuff World.
Yeah, of
which
course.
will be called contrasting paints. Or contrasting speed.
Speed contrast.
Speed contrasting paints.
Instant speed contrast. Something along those lines.
Yep.
So, do we have projects for tonight? I think we have.
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Let's see.
Why are you playing that square?
So we should start with this one. Huzza by Fuck.
Yes, the Friends of General Haig are at it again. This time round, via the medium of a fuckload of updates while we've not been paying attention. This is why you should always pay attention. So there's a lot before we catch up to where we were. Mostly concerning
big pictures.
mostly concerning penetry and flaggery, including some stuff based on the Stockholm Rule, which shows some fucking amazingly big flags, which may or may not be accurate, or may have been some sort of artistic thing. But whatever way they've done it, it looks great, and I like the fact that he's then gone and done it for his Tiny Fighting Men as well. Referee, what the fuck?
Oh god, I think either my internet is going bonkers again, or the overall network is having a stroke.
Strokey stroke.
Don't ram me, I like strokes. I've read on the car today.
Nice.
So these are 28 mil. But my
It's 28.
My first impression was, oh, nice 10 millimeter with large flags. No, it's 28 mil with giant flags.
I mean, how else will people know where your unit is if you don't have magnificent standards on the tabletop for your magnificent standardry?
That is true. Yeah.
These people are going to give me a stroke. That's sloppy as fuck. But I do like the addition of the massive flags. There's also a really nice link in there to where he got them from, which is
anotherminiaturepainter.com.
That's the one. And also a link to the Stockholm Rule. But if you happen to be doing Polish Renaissance Cossacks, then there's a big set of chunky ass flags for you right up there, coming at you like Cleopatra.
A dead counter.
Which are handy to have. And presumably there'll be other bits and pieces in there.
I love this lady one.
Yes. It's one of the counters or command bases. Don't know who's that actually meant to be. Didn't see a name attached to it. Who knows? Who knows? But 1666 is an interesting little game. Sort of historic fantasy.
That seems the flavor of the month or a year to be with Silver Bayonet and.
Yeah, well, obviously these will get used in Silver Bayonet. That's just there for casualty type. It could just be somebody with lavishly spectacular hair like myself. Like nature intended it. But it's really nice to see what Andy's doing for his Polish-y, Cossack-y, Slavic troops. Because they're a very different set of beasts.
But we're not talking heresy, Andy.
No. Apparently, more than one person is allowed to be called Andy.
Is that legal?
Possibly. Not sure.
So, hands up in chat, who has backed Heresy Andy's Kickstarter? The current one.
If not, why not? I'll catch you.
So
Only got like 2 days left, I think.
Yeah, it was a short campaign, which I found a bit irritating, but then again, he will have his reasons.
Yeah, well, there's no point in fucking around.
Have you had any hands-on experience with the Sirecast yet?
Yeah, fuckloads.
Because the only person I know that has done so far says, well, very floppy.
I haven't had a problem with the floppiness.
But then again,
I'm not sure what they're doing or how much weight they're putting on top of it that's causing them issues.
No, it's like with the PVC miniatures when you can't get rid of mold lines because it's so flexible.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
And I thought
mold lines are a pain in the hole. But what can you do? Not much, I think, is the answer to that one. The way around it is trim it with a very sharp knife and then use fine grit sandpaper. If you file it, you run into a world of hurt.
Or just ignore him.
Well, no, never do that.
To be fair, the miniatures I've got from Andy so far don't have anything along the lines of mold lines. They've got ample injection points for metal, but nothing as mold liney. So I'm hoping that his new miniatures will stay more or less the same.
Part of that will be down to the process that's used to cast them and the material.
Yeah.
You're not getting away from it with COcast, especially because he's not doing it in-house. Zealot are doing them for him.
Also seem to remember that there was, when Siocast was first getting into the stage light, that there was the some representative saying, yeah, you need to have a special recipe of pressure and what to use for every mold you use done
Yep.
individually. So it's
Yep.
not a set and forget thing, but you need to adjust for multiple things.
Yeah.
Welcome, Redverse.
I think that's pretty much exactly it. But I know some companies who seem not to have managed to take that bit on board. And I think they're just putting it in, press the button, and walk the fuck away, regardless.
Yeah,
And those are the ones who are getting worse results than others.
that's what I was thinking, that those are probably the problems that have been. Let's see, just looking up the Titan Force was the game that was called for being rubbery and not very.
I mean, rubbery, yes. Floppy, no. You confuse me by saying floppy, because floppy says to me that they don't hold their shape, and you can say a lot of things about the COcast, but they hold their shape. Warlord's been using it for what, 3 years now, 4 years. So they're Specure stuff originally, and then after that, Judge Dredd and Slayin, I believe, is the same. So it's not like they've not been producing it.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Heresy Andy has been on the market long enough that he had made some test prints of sorts to find out if the material is any good for him.
Don't know if it could be. I don't know.
I'm just guessing. At least I hope he did some test prints of sorts.
Well, it's one of those things. The price of metal has doubled.
Yeah.
He can't go on doing it. Not everybody likes resin, and resin takes longer to produce. So,
and that's the thing. If you really want his sculpts, and you can't be asked to get the hassle done with Siocast, you can always opt for resin, which is nice to have the option.
Just have to pay more and wait longer.
Yeah.
But that's the issues there.
Speaking of issues, these large pictures are nice to look at when they're finally loaded.
I think that's all down to you, son.
Andy, what have you done?
I've had that moment ages ago. You need a bucket of internet.
The funny thing is, in between,
ask some Ukrainians
fast.
if you can borrow some Starlink off them.
No.
Ask for a cup of Starlink.
Cup of Starlink. Lone Star.
No, Zealot Miniatures are producing them, Demon.
So he's handing off production entirely on that then?
Yeah, well, he can't afford the COcast machine.
That would have been very...
He would need to run a Kickstarter with a, I want to say, 40 grand target.
Yeah, and he's currently just running the Kickstarters to get enough funds in to get the Skellybobs done. So.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It is what it is, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear more about that whenever my 200 quid's worth of COcast Undead stuff arrives.
So you went all in nuts on his...
Yeah, slightly. Slowly. Depends what he adds.
Yeah, so Puck has done a I like the short form fuck. Doug the Fuck has done a great project. I wish I could show you more, but my internet somehow is shitting
man.
poo-pooing on me.
Well, I'll put the link in. People at home can play along.
So let's see what's on Doug the Fuck Silver Bayonet then.
Yeah, it's been, like 2 weeks since we were here. So that means it's been like 150 updates.
Yeah, I seem to remember that he has been plastering Instagram and the likes with pictures.
Right. I've heard of Instagram. I even clicked on Twitter the other week.
Oh god, are you alright?
That's all right. I couldn't. I think it was like an XLBS. Ben wanted to send pictures of something, and whenever I clicked on them, it went, "You have to sign up." I was like, "I want to sign up. I want to see the pictures." Then we give up. Anyway, so he's been doing various bits and pieces, incidentals and additional monster wars. So we've got the little graveyards to kick things off, which are just offcuts from MDF. So when he's been buying things, I'm fairly certain that double-breasted grave on the right is the outside of a chimney for the top of a roof, because it has that cut in the apex.
Yeah,
and it's now been
be.
turned into some sort of ornamental gravestone.
And this one reminds me somehow of the bad overlord dude from the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series.
Venger.
That's
probably because of the wings and the hood.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, he's missing a horn. Otherwise, he'd be.
And a face. He's missing also a face.
Hey, he's got most of a face.
Yeah, and one in hand. So that's.
Yeah, he's up there, coming at you like Cleopatra. I don't know where he got his wings from. I haven't bothered paying attention, but I do know that the wings were initially intended to go on that demon sprue from North Star, and they couldn't fit them on. So recently they've been selling just metal casts, possibly resin casts of the wings in little sort of 5-packs.
If you can't attach it, sell it.
Yeah, no. It's the way to do it. I quite like that. I'm a big fan of the Night Stalkers for Mantic anyway, which means I'm a big fan of that eyeless face. I think it just looks particularly creepy.
It indeed it does. For some odd reason, if you have a creature that doesn't have the eyes where you expect them to be, it's very irritating. I think that's why hammerhead sharks look so weird to most
Difficult
people.
to poke them in the eyes as well.
or which movie was that where the blind beast sits on the long table with eyes and its hands going...
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth, yeah. That's one of the most creepy monsters I've ever seen in a movie. Those don't look too healthy.
No, they're fine. They're grand. Don't worry about it. Revenantes.
Just a day in the sun, and then...
Yeah. I see North Star finally got round to releasing their pack of Revenants. I have to say, I think you're much better off just kit bashing the shit out of them with some plastics. Just saying. Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
Is it legal to use different kits from different manufacturers to create a complete new monster?
It is for everybody except Games Workshop, who are the Nintendo of Tiny Fight Men, and will come around your house and break off all the GW bits from your non-GW model.
I somehow feel that's a South Park episode coming.
It's only a matter of time.
I mean, they had one episode where they actually had some decent games in it, if I remember correctly.
I've not seen it yet. It's one of the more recent ones. But I know they start like a games club and blah, blah, blah. They're all nerd gamers. That Trey and Park fella.
Yeah, Subdodger, thanks for subscribing. What's happening today? People are subscribing. Not that I'm going to see anything of that because Twitch is a cunt.
Well, yeah, the vampires are quite nice. To be brutally honest, I think I'd probably pick up some of the Highgate miniature vampires for myself.
Will you, or did you already?
No, I probably will. I've other things. I've 4 Kickstarters finishing in like a week's time.
Oh, grand.
So we'll be picking anything else up this month. And that's not including the one that starts tomorrow. Fuck you, Westphalia. Fuck you.
I've seen
Leave
that.
my money alone, you fuck.
He was just waiting for you to settle down again on spending and then just shove it.
They're doing little terrain pieces for that as well. There's one that has like a skeleton trapped in a door and it's knocking on the door knocker. So I put underneath it, knock, knock, who's there? Westphalia, Westphalia who? Westphalia Kickstarter, hand over your wallet and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah,
get up off the ground, you fuck.
That sounds about right.
See, good use of the Empire Fanatic head on that officer but not a gentleman. Quite like him.
The one with the red coat? Or?
Yep.
Yeah, he looks a bit distressed.
Dishevelled. And here's your goo from investigator Hercule Lebras Sacre.
On first impression, I thought he went for a little puke.
No, it's definitely ectoplasm. Because he's an investigator investigating.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Searching all the important evidence.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, and did you notice that while we're speaking on upcoming Kickstarters, that Morg Miniatures are setting one up again?
No.
Scallybobs.
But then that's probably because they do like Instagram, don't they? And I don't do that.
Yeah, but I think they also tease them on Facebook, but I'm not sure about that. But it's going to be Scallybobs.
That'd be good.
So far, I've seen one carrying a lantern and one carrying a bag of bones.
Oh, bone bags are tight.
Oh, living armor.
Living armor is great and a pain in the hole. Because, what do? Do you just get, fuck's sake, lads, you're giving it away. Give me strength.
You need a big bucket of salt water and vinegar. Instant rust.
Then if it rusts, it can't move around.
Yeah. Just is stationary then, so
Doing it wrong.
Can't hurt you anymore.
No. But yeah, living armor, I like that one with the floaty head because it's very difficult to find a suit of living armor without it just looking like a knight.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
I mean, the only other examples I can think of off the top of my head are from the documentary Scooby-Doo.
Oh, well, I was thinking I was sitting here thinking you were referring to that old Disney movie, Witch in a Bed. What was it called?
Bed knobs and broomsticks.
Or was it? Is that the one where the Home Guard defeats some Nazis with the help of walking empty?
You're completely losing me now.
Yeah, I know there's. I'm pretty sure I'm getting the two movies. There are probably two movies.
I love to think that it's like Dad's Army and the Canterville Ghost, and one actor's in the both, and you've just conflated the pair of them.
Could
just be fucking magical.
But Hazy Boy also says Bed Knobs and Broomsticks is the one where at the very end they.
Are you limping?
Hello, Hazy Boy.
Sorry.
Toros.
Talking to Tiago.
That's where at the end when they get back to whatever the coast city is, one set of Nazi invaders is repelled by undead.
Speaking of Nazis being repelled by the undead, then we see Conflict 47's getting a comic book series. Where the fuck did that one come from, Batman?
Yeah, that's an interesting comic. I've seen the trailer for that, and I was wondering how and why.
Well, how is they get an artist or like a writer, and then the writer writes the thing, and then the artist draws the panels.
So that's
and
how it works.
Why not?
It's an interesting thing because usually it's the other way around with all the nature games.
Well, clearly, I mean, weird World War II is not unknown as a genre. It could have been unconnected to conflict, but why not have it?
Yeah, and maybe that's one way to get more people into the game.
could be.
How long did we not look at Doug the Fox project? What did you say?
I said it's a couple of weeks, so there's been like 100 odd things.
Oh, look. He's quoting me. What's behind door number 1? Troll! Shame that I didn't say it. It was Jerry who said it.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure. I would have remembered if I made any funny
Doesn't
joke.
sound like me.
It doesn't sound like me either, so maybe we were just imagining things. Or Duck is hallucinating. But be that as it may, the miniature looks just gorgeous. Just let me add some more metal to my metal and give me that door. Could you hand me that door, please?
I like to imagine that he's in disguise. He just stands there with the door in front of him.
As a giant mimic.
Yeah. I know.
If the door was any bigger, I could see him crouching behind it.
No, I really like the idea that he's too big for the door. He just puts the door down in like a corridor and just hides behind it badly, so he's very visible like a halo, and can't understand why his surprise ambushes don't go down well. Fuck's sake! Some pricks dying in the stands. Now they've had to stop the game.
What?
The plus side, it means Jurgen's got a chance to kick the shit out of the team, because quite frankly they are playing like planks.
Why are people dying in the stands?
I don't know. I imagine due to alcohol and high fatty diet. It's mostly what's going to cause that. If it was in Scotland, they would have said heroin. But, you know.
Well, that's always a
Scotland.
A possibility.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so Doug has been doing the Lord's own work with fez wearing French occultists and all sorts.
Oh, would you look at this lovely puppy? That's a nightmare.
Might be.
You're not petting that anytime soon.
I mean, you could.
Once.
You can pet it more than once if you want. Get the mange, mind you. It looks like he's used one of the undead snakeheads. Where's that from? I can't be arsed reading. Doug, where's it from, Doug?
Mantic Games Undead Dog.
Is it? I thought they looked more like rats. I've got like 100 of them. I should dig those out. I won't.
Maybe he used some black magic on the skull.
I mean, it could look like that when you take it off the sprue, to be fair. I'd have to get to that point. Never got that far down the line.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how cringy would you feel it if I were to get on a live stream and paint miniatures on a sprue?
Why would you do that?
Well, to annoy you, obviously.
Outrageous. I've seen people paint on a sprue before.
To be fair, when I did ordinary models, priming on a sprue is a valid option. Because partially the parts are very hard to hold or to fix on something to have a decent coverage.
No.
Yes.
Oh, here's the problem I have with priming on a sprue is bad, but painting on a sprue is worse for this reason. When you clip it off the sprue, you then have bits that don't have paint on it that you've got to go in and try and match to what you've painted. And the bits where you put the glue on have now got a layer of paint on them, which means they won't stick properly. So you've got to scrape all that off. All you end up doing is adding work.
Yes and no.
How do you? Yeah. Don't worry, he doesn't soap. It's terrible, absolutely terrible.
Should I actually remove just the mold lines from the sprue itself and not the parts?
Oh my god!
I think that's my.
I tell you what, there's some ones. 1/72 soft plastic models I have that you could just take the mold lines off. And there's so much plastic there to paint.
I think I'm having a concept for a April Fool's stream. doing only the worst things.
April Fool is Friday this year.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, nice. So I'm looking forward to the weekender.
I can't imagine they'll do anything interesting.
They will forget, and just when it's time to release the video, oh shit, it's April 1st. We should have done something.
I did suggest that for April Fool's Day, that we just do nothing but crisp and golden buttons.
Oh, that's evil. Oh, Taffy, when did you arrive? Didn't see you come in there. Welcome.
Yes, Jam. I told you.
Ah.
Good times. Good times were had by all, except the ones that didn't. Yes! No! Fuck you! Sorry.
Everybody's awake. and my ears.
Off the crossbar. Oh man, I thought that was buried.
I think you killed Taffy.
Hey, you know, people were told. Anyway, so the
next one is Uglip going for Fallout.
Yes. Here's more of these things from that video game that you play on your Amigas.
Oh, don't get the brothers started on their Amigas again.
The fucking target.
And here we see a Jerry in his natural habitat. Cursing at persons that can't hear him.
They might be able to hear me. There's no proof they can't.
There's a disturbance in the force.
See whether or not they raise their game. Jurgen is also doing exactly what I've done, but he didn't have a bottle top to throw. Just saying. Otherwise, that would have been spot on there.
Just remember, your TV is just this far away from getting destroyed if you throw too hard.
It's not that. It's got beer in the way.
No, that's even worse. Don't topple the beer.
Champions League, Doug. Liverpool's playing Inter. Here's a floaty thing. Has it got like a name? It's called like Benjamin or something.
Hello, boy. Welcome. First time caller, long time lurker.
Shice.
So I like the miniatures as well, and I haven't been able to get my head around the rules yet. It's been sitting in my shelf for nearly 2 years now, and well, basically it's your run of the mill. What do you call it? Oh, my words, they left me. Skirmish.
All right, okay. None of those were the words I was going to use.
I'm guessing you were going to say something like shite.
What? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. There's a pirate.
Yeah, that's the undead mayor of Good Neighbor.
Sure, because in the future, undead pirates are a thing.
Yeah, he likes to dress that way, and ghouls are basically just humans who have adapted to radiation.
Oh, nice.
But he's a very, very relaxed chum.
Oh, there he is. He's got no nose. How does he smell?
He doesn't.
Oh, Jesus. Germans have no sense of humour.
Would you want to be able to smell in a post-apocalyptic world? I would think not.
My dog has no nose. How does he smell? Terrible is the answer. Terrible. In fact, that was the joke that killed the Nazis in Monty Python.
I'm going to say no.
You've never seen the funniest joke in the world.
I have seen, and the thing they are talking German is gibberish. There's no real words in there. Not one.
There is. It's pronounced badly, but it is. Because they're running forward going, mein Hund has,
No, he's going about Schlottermeier.
Oh, maybe they changed it. Maybe they didn't want to actually tell you that joke
They
in German where people could understand it.
they did
They
subtitles
were
on it.
they were worried that you would all fall over dying.
Nick Valentine, Android synth investigator.
Exactly, Redvers. Makes perfect sense to us. They were just protecting you. Say, I have to like the
So of course I could have seen.
diversity
I didn't
of
have to listen to it.
the diversity of miniatures, I suppose, within the little weird universe.
Yeah, I'm
Where's the tiny blue and yellow tracksuit wearing boy?
the Fallout Boy. That's no playable character, so I'm guessing he doesn't get a miniature.
That's
But then again, the Nuka-Cola girl isn't playable character either, but she got a limited edition miniature.
has she got breasts?
I'm going to say yeah, but she's covered in a 50s style spacesuit.
That's probably why then.
But all
The
in all,
breasts, not the
Uglip
spacesuit.
doing very fine work of nice miniatures. Oh god, I had prepared something for today. I totally forgot. Hold on.
Is it Spastic Hawk?
No,
I got a Spastic Hawk.
it's much better.
Spastic Hawk.
I thought to myself, if we are visiting people's projects,
Yes.
I'm going to leave a nice comment with date and the fact that they have been shown on the unofficial Hobby Hangout. Just to make them go, oh fuck.
That seems dull. Then people will be able to trace us. You should never leave a paper trail. Do you know nothing?
Nope, I don't. Also, OTT says I'm posting too quickly and I'm not allowed to do so, obviously. Why am I not allowed to spam the project system?
Don't know. There's a good question though. Do you have the one where the National Bush List Party is being set up on the south coast in England with Mr. Hilter and his friends?
Yes.
That's good.
And Mr. Hilter's a very nice guy.
Oh, classic. Classic Hilter.
I like the fact that they're driving around in the streets on bicycles with the gramophone on the back. But my favorite reference to World War II made by Annie Python is Faulty Towers. Don't mention the war! And then him going off with his concussion on the head, doing his very pikey steps into the front end of the hotel. Yeah.
I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. Dirty spam bot, dirty, sexy Flanders spam bot. What?
Maxi Flanders rear end. So, next project would be then by Curas.
Sure.
Roman British for Dux Britannium.
Now, I have reversed the streams on this one. So we're starting in the middle and working our way down towards the end. For very good reason. Yes, this is another one we haven't visited in a little while. So there's been some miniature painting updates.
Look at these details.
Look
Oh god.
at His Majesty.
Did he do a color transition on scales on 28 mm?
Yeah. Why would you not? How else will you know where the light is hitting on the scales if you don't do that?
Because I'm fucking ancient and my eyes are bad.
Oh, like Kev, who discovered he's ancient and his eyes are bad when sculpting. Terrible. But yeah, there's a bunch of minis to get through. And then after the minis, the oral sex. No, sorry, the battle report. Bad naughty zoot.
That's almost the same.
So I mean, we've seen
Some
Karas doing the
things.
Lord's own work before.
Tristone walls.
And the detail and the like that he gets into with painting, so people can follow the ratio-based step-by-step guide. Do not fuck around in front of your own 18-yard box like that, ladies.
There's the very interesting done
Oh,
green stuff watchtower.
are you? That doesn't look right, does it? Well, maybe it is. Oh, I know where we are. We're mid-table. That's why. Yeah. So obviously we've seen the stupid sexy
forgot to look.
flattlers.
What gaming system is he going to use this for?
Dux Britannium by the Two Fat Lardays.
Oh, not Saga.
No, well, he could use them for Saga as well, but he chooses to use them for a system that's inferior. When you get to the arse end of that, if you go to previous entries,
And hope that nothing breaks.
well,
So I clicked on previous entries and we're going up in time. Why?
because I've reversed it. Remember how I told you we reversed it?
Yes. So this is where we now start. July 4th, 2021. His Hearthguard.
Sure. Start there if you want.
That's the first entry that
Yeah.
we haven't seen before.
Yeah, well,
I'm guessing the shields are transfers.
yes, they are. Or some of them are, at least. I don't know if he's done anything additional to them afterwards. It's possible. But the Hearthguard are obviously looking delightful, like Hearthguard do, for your Romano-British. Fucking good save. Well done, Alison. Fuck those cats.
It's always astounding to me that people can keep up their painting style for so long.
Well, somebody said to me, maybe in soap actually, is, when you're looking at doing something, don't do 20 or 30 models and then get halfway through and go, I can't be fucked, and run out of steam and then have to come back to them. Just paint a model. Just paint a model. When it's done, paint the next model. Just get through it like that. And that's probably not a bad way of tackling it.
But that wouldn't explain how you would keep your consistency over such a long period. I guess if you...
My consistency would only drop off if I got fucked off with them and started trying to cut corners.
Yeah, but what I feel is if you paint consistently for a long time, you automatically start changing your way to paint because you get better at what you're doing.
Oh no. Oh, never change. We fear change. I mean, a lot of it comes down to he does what I'm going to refer to as historic painting. There's no blending. It's layers. So you pick your colors and here's your medium tone, here's your highlights, here's your shade, and that's it. You just put them on in the requisite places. That's a fold in the cloth, it gets the shade color. That's a highlighty bit, it gets the highlight bit. You're never blending, you're just layering.
Mm-hmm. I see what you mean.
And that's, I mean, I'm fairly certain Andy does it as well. So the Prussians that we looked at first, from the Friends of General Haig, it has that. So you're always, it doesn't matter if you're painting something today and then come back to that unit in 3 months' time, you're using 3 colors and there's no blending or fuckery in between. So it's not going to look different because you're still putting the 3 colors on and just having to pick whether it's a highlight, mid, or a shade.
Yeah, so the technique itself is somehow resilient against
Yeah.
improvement, quote unquote. Which,
Very much so.
if that's the historical way, then I feel that's a good one. Oh, he had met you at Salute, he says.
Yes.
Did it hurt?
No.
Oh, okay.
They were very good.
Very good, he says. And
All of the
there's
people who I met at Slip were very good, except the people who weren't.
well, how can you meet people that are not there?
The internet.
Is that Schrodinger's meeting?
Power of the internet. Coming at me like Cleopatra.
The internet is a horrible place, as we all know, so there's a full battle report in, and by the amount of text and pictures he put in...
There is a full battle report, yeah.
That must have been a pain in the ass to get that thing up and running.
No, I imagine that's exactly what everybody does when they're doing battle reports for me, and take no more time than a regular battle would take. So, it's all fine. More of that. I'm just saying.
More battle reports. See, Crispin, that's why you're not getting golden button. You're not doing battle reports.
He's done battle reports.
He does? Well, then he did the wrong ones.
I think it was, whatever you call it. Aeronautica.
Oh, that... I thought that was just him showing off his giant chip.
Giant chips.
Does that count as a... as a thingamajig battle report? I guess. Partially. Yeah, Charles, actually, doing a battle report isn't that hard if you're not fighting that damn system. Quicker playing 40k than upload a battle report, says Japes.
Probably. But, at the end of the day, you've achieved something if you've uploaded a battle report.
That's
if you
true.
played 40k, you may as well top yourself.
And that's
Remember, kids, suicide is always an option. It's down the street, not across the road.
Yeah.
Do something right for once in your life.
and,
That's what
and
Rippy the Razor says.
And don't take the toaster to your bathtub. Those don't work that way anymore. They've got too many fail-safes in them. if you want to do it right, use a knife and cut the cord, bake 2 leads, and then just jump. Battle reports are easy for 40k. You only write up 2 turns.
That is very true, though.
I couldn't tell.
I can. I often see them deploying and then playing a bit, then giving up and putting all their stuff away. It's great.
Set up a pack away turns, yeah. So what's next on the docket? That's Harry Brains, Boris and Friends.
Yes.
And he's playing with air colors.
Yes, technically. Not all the time. Mostly this is, I've got everything I want from Moonstone, and this is me currently painting everything I want from Moonstone app. So the last few here come courtesy of the most recent Kickstarter. So we've got the Homunculus, the Crazy Old Wizard, and Enraged Diana, the most enraged of all Dianas. He's even got a special anime version of a Lashevult druid.
Leshen?
Almost Leshen. Lashevult.
Too many tabs. Let's get this right. Oh, don't they look lovely? the way that what do you want to call him, the one with the mask? Is that a
That's Rimbold,
what?
the blind sensor wielding lunatic for the Lashevult.
What's the English term for executioner? That's what I was looking for.
Could be an executioner.
I like the way he's just spreading his little fingers away from the chain.
Yes, he's very dainty.
Like he's drinking tea.
He is, what you call him?
Posh.
Oh, no. There was cheeky bastard. These fucking wops need to be sent off to fuck. The, Baron von Munchausen,
Mm-hmm.
his servant, who was a massive massive strongman.
Yeah.
You know, he could empty the entire treasury on his back, and then they catch up with him years later, and he's working as a tease maid for Vol the god, going, I don't want to be huge and heavy and lug big things around. I want to be dainty. And that's all I think of every time I see him.
Yeah, I can see why it definitely feels like it. Oh, that one is rather green.
Yep, but only because they're a ghost. The two on the left are my favourite, the little Strigoi.
The weird sister with that ghastly thing coming out of her back.
No, she's a little girl who's possessed. That's the same model, but if she loses her amulet or drops it, then the Strigoi that's possessing her comes out until she gets the amulet back.
That seems rather cruel.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, Moonstone is whimsical, but nobody said it's nice.
Oh, here's the most favorite airship of them all, the frog.
The gnome, Froggy, that's better.
I wonder who came up with the idea of the inflated frog.
I'm pretty sure all of them are Tom. It's pretty much a one-man band. Tom comes up with the ideas and then gets people to make his craziness a reality. I mean, he should probably be checked in somewhere, but you know.
No. As long as he's letting his creativity flow into
the eyes on the frog are great.
Just let him do whatever he wants.
I'm not. In fact, I mentioned that in the unboxing I did. Flea Boy. And it goes further than that because he's like a river troll type thing, and he's got a fish hook in his lip, which is so fine and delicate you wouldn't even notice it unless you're holding it up close. And on his back, he's got a spatula, or as it's called in the UK, a fish slice, which I assume is deliberate. There's some great stuff on it. Oh, the new book, the adverts and stuff like that are fantastic. All of them explaining how people can visit certain people to have hexes removed and shit like that. They're all good.
Please, Mr. Project System, would you play with us? No, he doesn't.
No.
I can't.
It's too orangey for crows. Too far away.
It's not working.
It's not. You seem to have broken it.
Yeah,
massively.
Possibly.
It's all working on my side. Is it because you're trying to do too many things? You should be like a tech guy like me. You'd know how many things you can make it do.
Oh, I can make him do all the things, but not at once. Horrible.
Banana.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all Lloyd's fault.
I imagine so. Although Lloyd has nothing to do with the actual site.
Not yet.
It's Tim and Tom. But don't let that stop you from throwing all the shade at Lloyd. He enjoys it. Probably. I don't know. He won't come out of the house and play Saga with me. Fuck him.
So what wheelbarrow did I miss? The trolley one?
It's the shoulder on the troll. It's the pauldron.
Oh!
There's a wheelbarrow.
I didn't see that, actually. That looks nice.
Shocking. Tim and Tom, the internet man, Flubadub. Or, C++ dub.
As long as they are having fun, it's all right by me.
Don't think they are, but, don't let that stop you.
So next up then would be Dreadball by Lorna.
Yes. The best sports game on the tabletop.
Yeah, blame it on Ben, the one who is clearly the most remote from everything.
Makes sense.
Or, actually, come to think of it...
He has to use it the most.
Yeah, that's what was I going to say. He's making up the most articles, I think, close to you and free, so potentially he's now just hacking away, writing things, uploading stuff, stressing the servers, and making my job horrible. Ben, you're a terrible person.
Do we go for excellent gift work, which we obviously know is Tonka Bean Heaven, or do we go for trees we didn't plant?
I'd go for trees.
Trees we didn't plant. Okay. It's kind of blue. It's very, Ukrainian. In fact, if I do this and then put that bot below it, there we go. It's very Ukrainian then.
Isn't the blue part on the bottom?
The whole thing's bluish.
So Lana is doing Dreadball.
I think this is going to be a spring clean hobby challenge, which is interesting because we haven't announced it yet, but it starts in a couple of weeks. He's getting ahead of the game. He's wise to us.
I'm guessing he looked at the evidence from past years and thought to himself, well, they probably will be doing something. I may already do stuff.
I mean, we're creatures of habit, and it saves us having to think of things.
Yeah, you don't need to be creative with what you're doing on site if you can just regurgitate things again and again.
If I can get away with just putting up 2021 Spring Clean Challenge winners, I'll save us even having to look through and pick new ones. See whether or not anybody notices.
I'm going to say no.
You can only think of the flower pot, Ben, now. As long as you're not thinking of weed.
What's wrong with weed?
She was a bitch. And a tout. Flower pot men were too good for her. But yeah, so if you're unaware, the Spring Clean Challenge is something Untitled Pot do during spring.
And he needs help identifying stuff, obviously.
Well, he's already got them all identified. A shame, because I left this for tonight, because I could have identified literally everything that he put up. In the end, he emailed Mantic. And,
he took the cheap route.
Well, he would have got an answer from me eventually. But because I have to wait for you to pull your finger out and do one of these hobby hangout things, it delayed my answering.
Well, he will. Maybe someone did him a disservice and called all the wrong names just to mess with him.
No, it didn't. I checked.
Shame.
It is. Shocking. He has Austrians. I don't have Austrians. I've got some Austrians, but I don't have many Austrians. Where's he got Austrians?
From the shop?
No.
Grey Primer, my 72 unpainted Blood Bowl teams are begging for spring clean. Are you actually talking about 72 teams or 72 miniatures?
You can't be talking about 72 teams, because even if you include Dreadball Extreme, it caps out around about the 40 mark. I know this because I have them all.
I don't know if there are that many third-party Blood Bowl teams, to be honest.
Oh, Blood Bowl? Oh, no, in that case, yeah, it could be. Sorry, I thought we were still talking Dreadball. The better game.
He has a project with photo evidence. I'm guessing that's still private.
I haven't seen it. I do go looking for them. I haven't looked today, though.
It's a shameful existence.
That's why Gray started. Yeah, that's why Gray started his channel, though, if I remember correctly.
To get his Blood Bowl teams done.
Well, specifically because he was a fan of the Blood Bowl and to show them all off.
So after this,
and then he just went from there, expanded like my ass over lockdown.
Well, we all have grown in the last 2 years a bit horizontally, I feel.
Yeah, I'm not matured, but I've certainly grown. But yeah, if anybody is interested, you know what's coming. I think we're kicking it off the Friday. Spring starts on the 20th this year. Yeah, so it'll be the Friday the 18th. I'll be pissed because that's St. Paddy's week, which a day just doesn't do it justice. So I need to give it at least a week to breathe. But, you know, you can get ahead of the game like Lawnmower's done. Starting to work on his Dreadball stuff. I might start work on my Dreadball stuff as well.
Crispin, Right, great, Brahma. Make sure you make a project and then hit up Ben.
Crispin's reached the point where he doesn't even realize that @Ben isn't Ben's name. He just assumes that the @ is always there.
Yeah, there's. I was tempted to correct him at times, and I thought, no.
No.
As long as he does it this way.
It's like Hodgeards. You know, that if that's how he introduces himself, then that's his name.
Can I start a brand new sleighing project for my spring clean challenge? Well, why not?
Yeah, go nuts. I won't stop you. You won't win, but I won't stop you.
So next then is Harry 711, The Longest Day. Wasn't that some kind of movie, I think?
It was. I don't know who coined the term for D-Day as the longest day.
Probably some documentary.
No, fuck no. No.
That says there on the box.
It may have been, whatchamacallit. I have an idea that it was somebody like, Churchill or
Propaganda.
FDR or that sort of thing, this will be our longest day, or this was it sounds like a sort of soundbite that came out just after D-Day. But yeah, it did spawn a book and a movie years later. But this is a relatively new chap to Base of War. And this is the longest day project. It's got Stalingrad one. S in the Stalingrad one. But it'll be interesting to see the progress. They're sort of starting to get into bold action. So this is their first foray into historics.
And from what I can see from the slow loading images so far, it's a bloody neat paint job.
Yeah.
Very much on point.
On fleek, as I believe you kids say. Time with the kids. Time with kids.
And almost no seam lines or mold lines, but just almost.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Clean up. Everything's getting all the dry brush. Gets all the dry brush on the wash.
Going to be interesting to see how he's going to make the bases. I'm guessing they won't stay this way. That would be a crying shame.
Was it the longest day of the year that year? Because that would make a lot of sense.
If that actually had been the longest day of the year.
Jama Scott reckons it was. Annoyingly, it's one of those dates that floats around. It's not set, so you'd have to go back and
I'm sure there's
work it out.
There's a wiki page somewhere listing all these.
Positive there will be.
Oh, Demon Sub is going to get a box of naked goals for his.
Naked goals are tight.
Cure Force.
Fuck me. Right. That's an excessively early solstice that year, isn't it? Because normally it's end of June. Maybe we'll give Jamascat a golden butt ding for knowing that the longest day was the longest day.
Well, probably. Here you have. I've one to spare. No, not anymore. So, longest day.
No, it wasn't actually the longest day. Rommel called it that.
Oh, Rommel.
So I was right. It is a soundbite from somebody. So yeah, the solstice is still the end of June. It wasn't an early one. Good old Rommel, huh? There's not bad things said about the Nazis, but very few people tell us all the great stuff they did. Like failing to kill Hitler.
Do you remember that?
What's the phrase? Oh yeah, you can say a lot of bad things about Hitler, but you have to remember he did kill Hitler.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Last week we looked at Warboss D channel. You may remember.
I did. I do remember that. I'm very clever in that respect.
And on Thursday, I watched his channel and got him to understand where the connections came from. And then he watched the episode we did last week,
Right.
and he mentioned a joke that I can't recall because he said you were somehow impersonating Nazis, and he was afraid that we would get cancelled right on the spot, and I couldn't remember what he was talking
Oh
about.
man, I'd need to go back and see. I missed his stream on Thursday because Liverpool were playing, so I was watching that. I would have liked to.
Also, you lazy kids in chat, have you started counting how many episodes Jerry has been missing? Have you? You lazy sodding bastards. You poor
If you
excuses for counts.
If you haven't, I haven't either. So, join the club, lads.
Yeah, but I have. I know.
That's German efficiency for you. It's the sort of efficiency that make the trains run on time. Oh, it was probably something like that.
What? Possible?
It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Not far off. Yes, James, you were supposed to do something and it wasn't a house challenge, so... Demon Sub, you're not that far off, actually. But I'm not going to tell you. You could just have to wait until we meet Jerry's 100th episode.
Yep. We were supposed to find out when I was, but I'm not going to do that because I can't be arsed. Anyway, yeah. So,
next up then.
Short, relatively new community member.
Can do a lot of things.
Knuckle the fuck down and give him a follow and keep an eye on him. See what he's up to.
Yeah.
Also, he's done some undead stuff for Pelennor Fields.
Next project will be Victoria's Secret, I think.
Yes.
Oh no, almost. Denzian. Victorian science fiction. Is this the one with a nice Martian thingamajigs?
What's going on there? Seen? What happened? Add a friend, whisper, gift a sub. What's going on?
What?
Please fuck off, Twitch. I don't want to do any of those things.
You don't? Oh.
No, I really don't. No, fuck you.
Isn't this a different project, or has it been that long that we have looked at this?
It's been a long time.
Oh, there
ages.
We are. The Cavalry. That's well, almost a year ago.
Cavalry because they're on lizards.
And here we are, Lizardy Cavalry. The spears do look a bit thin.
Spears are not thin. We discussed this, and he went out and took my genius idea of using bristles, and then made his spears from bristles. And he has never been happier or more sexually attracted since then.
To himself.
Who else do you need?
Oh,
as Woody Allen said, it's always sex with someone you love.
Yeah.
Just slightly better than the thing Woody Allen normally says, which is, where's the address of the nearest primary school?
And I love the way that he just takes a picture of his
yeah, he just found his wife's brush and like, I'm fucking having. I'm not going. I want spears for my lancers now. I'm not prepared to go out and buy a brush head when there's a brush in the house that I can just clip some off while the missus isn't watching, and that's just awesome. I 100% agree with that.
And from now on, she's wondering why the brush that had worked so good for many years now suddenly leaves a streak in the middle.
Yeah, I'll be fine. They've got loads of bristles, those things.
They do?
I've spent like a tenner on on brushes, but I'm replete for pikes, lances, and spears for the next decade or more, in all scales, so it's good in that respect. But yeah, Denzian's done not just that, but a whole host of additional things, like people on penny farthings, ramshackle, massive
handsome cab.
tanks. Yeah, it is a very handsome cab. Handsome cabs are tight. I think the partial problem with this one is he got a golden butt ding at one point, so he's popped up on the XLBS, which means that I avoid. If somebody gets a golden button, I tend to avoid doing them for a little while because I don't want people to be saturated by the same thing over and over again as Ben copies us. It's why I've left you out this week, Crispin. On the off chance that it will give Ben a chance to give you a golden button. That might happen.
He might be remembered.
Yep. What the fuck is wrong with you? Was there a sniper in the stand?
I'm guessing you're referring to your footy again.
I am. And it's Andy Robinson who's being booked, and I'm fairly certain Andy will go through him like it does the assaults. He's a lad from fucking Scotland. You do not want to fuck with him.
And here again, we see a
Someone's
prime
going to get
example
fucking killed.
for how to easily upgrade your terrain. Just add posters.
Did not get button, but I went through this on the XLBS, I'm fairly certain, with people. Although, to be fair, I do drink a lot, so maybe I didn't. But I remember talking about the red weed and all sorts of stuff. Oh. Well done, Alison. And fuck those fucks. Kick him while he's on the ground. Give him a kick. Poster's really nice, especially Dobbins, because I worked with a fella called Dobbin who was a fucking lunatic.
Aren't those usually the ones nicest to work with?
Oh no, salt of the earth. Loved him. Went out drinking with him all the time. He was just a fucking lunatic.
Just a wee bit weird in the brain, yeah?
Oh, the baton line up there is particularly good before you scuttle off Mr. Man.
Doesn't load again. Yeah,
It's-
so this collection of
Well, yeah.
law enforcing hardwood.
Yeah. A lot of rosewood and turned walnut and that sort of thing, you know, nice tight grain, heavy pieces of wood, but they had a thing where they would do designs on them. You have them in the museum, so you may be able to confirm this. I was of the idea that wasn't something they used day to day, but that was something that was done decoratively even after they left the force or as a display piece. So if they got promoted to, you know, like a captain or whatever, they would have a delightfully adorned baton, but it was ornamental, not actually there for beating the tar out of people.
Maybe Ben should give Crispin a golden baton
Oh, that'd be
and
good.
just whack him with it.
That would be very good.
And-
I'm sure that would go down.
I'm always reminded when I see these of what's his face again? Vimes.
Yes. With his commander of the City Watch
Yes.
baton that had the King's Peace imprinted on it,
Yeah.
and little
so
silver badgeration.
so that people would know from whence they were hit.
Yeah. It was also heavy enough to imprint the King's Peace backwards, so people would know what would happen to them.
So obviously he seems to have finished building up his armies, as he's now starting to do
Positive we never give you a golden button for this.
Martian terrain. Well, if he hasn't gotten one,
I need to cut down on the fucking drinking, lads. Seriously, I was positive we had a long discussion about how good this was on a weekender.
I know there was the discussion, but I'm almost certain.
Was it just one time when I was bored and started opening other people's projects to talk about things? Was it that?
Or is there maybe the possibility someone else has a similar project?
No. It was 100. It was 100% this project with the red Martian weed going everywhere.
Well, Denzin, you know what to do. Join in the chorus of Crispin. You need just one more, and you can start a crusade.
A crusade against at Ben. Fuck at Ben. He knew what he did. I really like the citizens as well, the Victorian citizens. I don't know if you've seen Highgate miniature stuff on the Indie a couple of weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure I have, but I possibly
No, not
have
you.
forgotten.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
okay.
proper people.
Yeah,
I'm talking to Denzin.
whatever you want.
Yeah, you shut up. Picture monkey. You just keep opening the pictures. But he had some really nice. He had some really nice Victorian figures as well. which could be used for all sorts of weird and gothic shit here. Oh, the fucking boost again, you fucks! Son of a bitch.
Oh, Taffy, that's a hard pill to swallow. Making
going on?
Crispin go all the way for Games Workshop stuff.
Oh my god. I'm not saying this will definitely happen, but at one point in April, Ben is away for 3 weeks. And I'm not saying there definitely won't be a single bit of GW news or Golden Button that's GW based during that period. But what I'm saying is I don't check the GW news because I don't give a fuck about them. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure Justin or Free will take on that.
Justin won't.
But
Free might, in the spirit of doing her job, look at GW and what they're talking about. I fucking won't.
Well, since you have mentioned Games Workshop now...
No, hang on. I'll hold the fucking phone. You need Martian buildings. Did they describe what they're like? I need to go back and watch John Carter of Mars. Because weren't they kind of like Martian Adobe type buildings?
If I remember correctly, there were some weird ruins as well.
Now I'm curious as to what a Martian building would look like. I think Adobe buildings would work, yeah. Which means you could look for things like Star Wars buildings as well, where you've got those weird round and oval shaped Adobe things. Fugu has a load of nice sci-fi like Adobe buildings on 20% off at the moment, but then you get fucked by the shipping to Europe. Just a terrible shame. I mean, John Carter wasn't a bad film.
No, it was quite enjoyable cinema. It wasn't.
The page you're visiting, blah blah blah, is trying to send you here. Yeah. Take me to there then. I pressed the button for a reason. Google. I'm going to start using fucking Bing or Ask Jeeves if you keep this shit up, you prick bastards.
So, but since Toffee has mentioned the big bad thing, we now need to go to Dolgath, Sisters of Emperor's Mercy. We need to appease the 40k crowd so that they don't come knocking.
Oh no, this is just to appease me, because I am keeping one eye on him. Because it's important to know what he's up to when other people aren't watching him.
Had I told you a lot on stream what happened to the Games Workshop store in Oldenburg? I think I have.
You told me. I don't know if you said anything on stream about it.
Chat, do you recall that if I said it on stream?
But as we've discussed, my memory is not what it used to be.
Well, here's the short version of it. I did say so I don't need to redo. No, I didn't apply. I may be mad, I may be off my mind at times, but I'm not that suicidal.
What's that you say? Less pay for more work and having to be a prick to boot. Don't mind if I don't.
So, Dolgath has done Sisters of Emperor's Mercy. Why do they call them this weird names? I don't know.
They're convents. So there's like Order of the Argent Shroud, the Bloody Rose, shit like that.
They are nuns with the guns.
Nuns with and or guns, discuss.
Big guns, obviously.
But we haven't been here in a little while, waiting on stuff getting painted up, and he's done some painting. So we've had squads completed and giant mechanical penitent things completed as well, with the ladies and nipple clamps attached to them.
Why would anybody do that? That's a horrible thing to do.
Because that's how the magic happens. And by magic, I mean murder botting everybody in your way. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Oh, this is nice. Jerry hooked me up with some conversion charts for old Games Workshop paint matching.
Yes. Remember we watched that a while ago?
Yeah.
And then I went, I'm going to post them in the link later.
And you did?
I didn't. But then he sent me a message going, I'm a lurker in the unofficial Hobby Hangout, and I've seen what you're saying, so thank you. So I've got them. So well done him, because quite frankly, I cannot be trusted to do things, especially not whenever it requires me to sober up and do things.
Well, to be fair, in the current world, you really don't want to be too sober. You don't want to.
Why? What's happening in the current world?
You don't want to go nerd.
I'll never be knerd. It's the worst.
That's one of my favorite facts from Pratchett, that word hasn't been translated or replaced for anything. It's the same word in the German books.
Yeah, I mean, why should it not be? It is, after all, a state of sobriety so strong as to impinge on the fluffiness of how you view the world, I suppose.
It takes you to the other side of being shit-faced drunk.
Yeah. Pass right through sober and go out the other side of it.
I think the only character in that series of books that ever reached that state and was happy with it was the god of drunkenness or something, or the god of hangovers.
The god of hangovers, the god of hangovers.
Yeah. Which
Bilious.
is, for some odd reason, a character I can so much relate to.
Why do people get hangovers? I've never understood this. It seems like a dreadful waste of time.
Usually I don't get them as well, because prior for me getting shit-faced wasted and having to put in reverse on my intakes, I somehow have a reflex of stopping.
Oh well.
My wife wants
I
to know
suppose.
why you sound more drunk than usual.
Who's that? Me? I don't know. It might be because I'm watching this football match.
Yeah,
football. I'm not, because I've been much more smashed than this. Maybe I'm coming down the cold because I'm feeling a bit nasally.
Maybe you should take up drinking coffee.
Red Mountain.
Next project then, please. And that's David. And let me tell you, if anybody wants to see some Macs, he has been hammering Battle Macs out left, right, and center. And also, it's just battle reports and even more Macs. And
yes. Oh, this is everything. There's a whole host of stuff.
I think the only thing we are missing in this project is terrain building.
Give it time.
And to be fair, Battletech isn't a game where, if you play the Hexfeld version, where terrain is built easily, because it's annoying as fuck if it doesn't fit on the hex terrain. At least to me. But I'm anal like that.
You don't have to play Battletech on hex terrain, as it shows in this battle report.
Yeah, you don't have to, but that's the way I enjoy it the most.
Then you can build terrain to fit in those hexes. That's not a terrible thing.
No, and I did. I actually have some, but it's the thing is, these hexes are beautifully perfect.
Yes.
And when I tried to
almost as good as square
hotwire mountains in a hex grid,
yeah,
the hex went a bit off, and now I can't unsee that. And I just keep myself calm by telling myself those were only test pieces.
Have you considered using a jig?
Yeah, but I haven't made one nor bought one.
You do not always have to play your way out. That goal was fucking coming.
I might put that on the wish list for my next birthday for my wife to tell her, you could go to Shifting Lens, get me that jig from a hot wire cutter, and then I'm going to make all the hexagonal terrains.
Yeah. There's a few different companies do them as well. I know somebody did a Kickstarter a couple of years ago, but all you really need is MDF hexes. You know?
Yeah.
And once you've got a couple of MDF hexes, away you go.
There's another BattleTech project running around where somebody is doing terrain via the means of MDF hexes, though they are a bit too small for the actual diameter. Would annoy me a hell of a lot more.
It would annoy me if we go out to Inter Milan, who've spent the entire game fucking falling over and buying fouls all around this pitch. That would annoy me. Hundreds of individual wooden hexes. Seriously, why the fuck do you keep playing out from the back? This is how you give the fucking ball away to get a fucking goal against you a minute ago, and you've done exactly the same thing again. Punt it up the fucking park. Oh my fuck! He just sent Persic off. About
yes,
time.
It's just odd war Dutch.
Ah, you fucking diving prick.
Took you not long enough to mention bot war again. I was thinking.
Are you? Because remember at that point whenever I used a bot war miniature in yellow and a 10 to make the Ukrainian flag?
Well, nobody sprang to that.
Oh, did nobody jump on that one?
No. And it's just Crispin getting even the wording wrong because it's bot war singular, not plural.
Bot war, bot war, bot war. It's like the map, man.
And also, I think there needs to be, there probably is somewhere a Rule 34 version of but war.
Oh, without doubt.
With that glorious thought in our heads, let's jump to the last project for tonight.
Oh my god.
144
Sorry.
artists. What? Horrible, terrible stuff happening at the footy?
No, you. You sounded like you'd gone through all the Tron digitizers there.
Did I?
Yes.
Audience, did I for you too, or was it just Skype fitting?
You need to wait half an hour for the
Yeah.
thing to get through.
There should be a Jerry who watches football and gets pissed stream.
Good.
Dutch didn't have
technically
that.
there is.
So I'm guessing that's just Skype acting up. And I'm pretty proud of myself because when I launched Skype today, it asked for an update again, and I didn't do it.
Ooh.
OBS also asked for an update, and I didn't do it.
OBS always does that. It's a slag.
So 144 does an undead dragon.
Yep. Score by score. It's part of the Kings of War project he's been working on. So it's a Reaper Bones dragon on a little sort of bespoke base.
Pseudo plinth.
Yeah. I mean, it might come on that. Who knows? It has the feeling that with the tail being so long, it comes on something. But it works nicely for an undead dragon. It has that sort of crypty feel.
He looks very zombie-esque.
Yeah, zombie dragons are cool. I don't know why more people don't have them. Probably because of how Game of Thrones ended. Just depressed everybody.
I don't know how Game of Thrones ended.
Badly, very badly.
I imagine. Judging by the
nuclear fallout.
All the weeping and gnashing of teeth that was on the internet everywhere.
You know, how can I sum this up? When the Ukraine conflict ends, there will not be as many negative comments about what happened in Ukraine as there are about Game of Thrones Series 8.
That's a stretch.
No, it really isn't.
It's a lovely dragoon.
It is. It's really nice. Reaper do some lovely stuff. I believe they've got another one coming in a couple of weeks, which is why York Borg is going to Kickstarter tomorrow instead of later on in the month.
So that they have a fighting chance of being seen.
No, their plan is just to be finished before Reaper launches their Reaper's Bone 71 or whatever it is.
To be fair, Reaper would be very tempting for myself if they wouldn't have to charge an arm and a leg for shipping. And plus, those are one of the few American things that are actually available at a local store here, so I can go and pick and choose stuff that's there.
Yeah, it's one of those. I got the first Bones. It was mostly balls. I don't regret it. I haven't backed any since, and they've got better.
At least that's what people tell.
No, I mean I've bought some bits and pieces from other companies subsequently, so it's one of those things. It's made mostly for people who incorrectly play RPGs with miniatures. So if you're not doing that, it's tricky finding a use for all the shit you get.
Well, just play Frostgrave.
Didn't exist at the time. Well,
Okay.
Frostgrave did. Maybe. Not sure. Actually, I'd have to go back and check. I
Well,
wasn't.
just congratulate James Cutts on his 100 subs on YouTube.
Huzzah!
Well done, mate. I'm pretty sure by now Panzer has surpassed me. I seem to be stuck at 160.
My question would be, well, why?
Why what? Why care?
Why does anybody watch your stuff?
Beats me. Maybe it makes them feel better because they see what a poor sod is sitting in front of the
that's
camera.
true. That is true. Maybe they're just sitting there going, at some point he's bound to get rid of that Irish drunk. The offensive Irish drunk. Once he's gone, I'll subscribe to his channel. Until that day, I won't.
So, Jerry, please don't ever leave. I can't handle the pressure of more people joining in.
It's the fame. It's all about the fame.
It'll be a horrible day when I be somewhere like Tactica and then people coming up to me and say, "Oh, I know you. You're some dude on YouTube."
Have your autograph. You autograph my penis.
Oh, I'll...
And then they break out the silver Sharpie.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there.
I have
So many peni I've had to autograph.
Well, then it's a fine tip pen for most of them.
Starting to get carpal tunnel in my wrist from the amount of penile signatures I had to do. Shocking.
Oh, Demon Sub, don't worry. Most of my videos are in German, and even those who are very much self-explanatory. Nice.
Oh, shocking altogether. But yeah, so
that's it for today.
That's it for today. I only did 11, not 12.
It's a nice.
Oh, for the love of fuck! What's wrong with him? Was there a sniper in the crowd? I would love somebody to stamp on them. See if Razor Ruddock was about. He would have fucking broke him.
Maybe somebody has thrown a beer or a tantrum. Both work. Well, shall we let Jerry enjoy the rest of his football?
No, there won't be. Don't point your eye. Only point at your eye if you want somebody to punch you in it. You fucking prick.
Yeah, that's what the world is coming to.
Oh, it fucking offends me. It really offends me. Put these prancing fucks on a GA pitch and let fucking anybody kick the fucking toys out of them. Absolutely fucking kick them into touch.
Why, Tuffy, would you want to invade something if you hear me talking German?
It's just standard practice,
And I let you know, Dutch, you mean Anschluss. That's a bit of a You have all the fitting letters in that word. Just the order is a bit buffed. So with that said, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks Jerry for having half his brain on stream.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
no,
the best you can hope for these days, I have to say.
Let me rephrase that. Jerry has his brains on stream, but his heart was on the telly.
Could be that.
Tightly scripted half hours. Maybe someday I'll get for all my videos I do another third golden button.
When are you coming up, Gray? Asking because apparently Discourse is coming up, who apparently is somebody off the YouTube internet telly as well.
People are coming to somewhere.
Going up to Otterland.
Oh no. So there is. Does anybody know how we do raids? No, I'm not doing anything. Next time I'll potentially.
What?
Yeah, you can use, if you do a stream, you can take your audience and just throw them in another person's stream, just for shits and giggles. But I need to figure out how that works.
You're so random.
Yes, I am.
I can't even, as they say in France. What the fuck are you doing out there? Do not lose that ball. You're a mile away from your fucking goal line, Allison.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.